Welcome back to our weekly editions of your Twin Flame Path. Yes, if you do want these videos ahead of time, we do have these 1 week ahead of schedule open in the Members Hub via YouTube. If you want to join us, you can. And very separately, every Friday, we cover the joint connection and do hold super chats live. Straight into the read. Let's have a look. Now, I do see there is a huge shift this week. I'm really feeling divine masculines are having this revelation, and I do particularly feel it's in relation to previous relationships. It can be a little bit of a left and right moment for them. And definitely I'm noticing from the crowning energy, as we do get further into it, I will do close-ups. I'm directly seen with bountiful harvest in reverse, and it breaks down to a 10. There's a situation relating to either a previous contract or a karmic connection. And I feel there's a bit of distaste in their mouth. It's disappointment. I also feel that they're disappointed of choice. You know, it's disappointment, point blank, zero. Could they be coming into this with what a relationship should look like? Yes, I do feel so. But I do feel a lot of it was coming to terms with situations, especially with the making decision in the past position. I feel it was very difficult for them to make a decision. Some of them might have had circumstances that was really limiting them from doing such. It might have been having an ill partner. It might have been karmics that have children. However this is relating, though, I do feel that's gone to the past, and I feel it's really the writings on the wall, so to speak, and I do feel they're coming out of it. I feel for many of them, they're looking at the higher ground. They're looking at, okay, you know, trying to come to terms with things. I'm noticing the white coming through on the flower and the yellow. And I feel this is very much to do with the purity, but also with duality, really respecting their own feelings, but at the same time, healthy boundaries. So I see that they're moving to higher ground, and they feel they have to be assertive with this circumstance so that they can actually be attracting divine feminine into their life and being able to offer a lot more. I feel that they have gone through some hard times spiritually. I feel this is really a lot of reflection back. I do feel there's a lot of guilt towards the trials and tribulations also that they did experience in the twin flame path, but also within their own personal lives to date. It feels as though they're moving into a total new world, and it's that they totally know that they're going to be very, very grateful that they're walking away from a dark cycle, but at the same time it's really shaped who they are today. So they're taking a moment, and they're looking back, and they're realizing how much crap they've actually been through. I'm hearing the term it was nothing, but it wasn't a fairy tale. You know, and usually life isn't point blank zero. I do feel that they're also saying, don't be so hard on yourself. It's not about you. And I feel what they're making reference to is just because they've been having a hard time, it doesn't mean you need to fix it. It doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. They're not meaning to be as they are. They're trying to, if they're taking time, they're trying to be kind to themselves. It's interesting because I feel it's in wellness as well. I feel this is to do with getting into a routine, getting grounded, having a lot on their plate. I do feel it's going to be quite a busy week for them. But I do feel they're really, really beating themselves up because they want to be giving a whole lot more. Yeah, to date, I think they're reflecting. I think some of the circumstances that they've experienced, I feel they've really felt as though it's pretty much been the status quo. It's been eat, pray, repeat. And so trying to get a new perspective, I feel they're trying to dig in and see a circumstance through. For some, I don't think this is relating to a karmic. I feel this is their working week. I feel they're meditating upon you. I feel they're reflecting back upon how far they've come. An ending of a cycle for some, yes, I do see that an ending has already occurred. And I feel they're kind of, you know, out of the storm, so to speak, but getting their bearings. I do feel there's plans. There's meditation upon plans they wish to make. They also feel that while they're in that topsy-turvy energy, they're really not trusting themselves. So they're not wanting to just base something on a whim. They're wanting to be very, it's almost like I feel they're waiting for some sense of paperwork. I feel instinctually, they know deep down that you're not like anybody else, but there is this second guessing. Maybe divine feminine won't accept me. Maybe they're telling me porcupines. Maybe they don't love me as much as they say they do. I also feel they're making reference to the fact that they want you to be able to trust them, and that they do need to shift their vibration to give you the reassurance. And they also know that when they do make this step, they're full intent. And I feel it's almost like they're tying something up at this point, because I sort of feel from the bottom row, what's coming through is they have made a decision, especially with the tree, the assurance. It's about the changes that they're directly wanting to make. And those changes in turn are going to mean it's all systems go. We've got pause and reverse. Once they make this decision and they move this situation about, they know there's no turning back, and they have absolutely no intent of turning back. They're being very careful about what that is, but I do feel there's a plan here. I feel there's a plan to get things done, to get their bearings, to make a decision left or right. For some, it can be, okay, where do I live? They just keep making reference to a busy schedule. This is doing them a favor, even if they don't directly feel so. I feel for those of you that have been in communication, there's something that you said, and they feel directly that that has really supported them in making this decision. But they also want to show you the support that you've given them over the years. This may be being in between a rock and a hard place for some, that they want to be there with you, but they may have some sense of obligations that they're addressing at some point. But I do feel they're going to communicate with you. I feel they want to sort of spend time with you, be around you. They have really experienced different style karmics. And what do I mean by that? If you were to picture you in a painting and to picture a karmic in a painting, the images would look totally different. And that's not to say we're perfect, but it's a different image. And this is the reference they're making. They're saying what I experienced with this circumstance was quite codependent. It was different. What they're experiencing with you is totally fresh, and it's almost like sometimes we can form habits. It's like we know, it's what we know, it's what we've always done, it's what we fear that's always going to be. And I do feel spiritually deep down, divine masculine knows that this connection isn't the same, but they can't quite understand because they'd be very willing to do those things with you. I feel I'm also hearing they're not used to compliments. So if you are complimenting them, encouraging them, supporting them, I don't feel they're used to this at this point. And I feel at a foundation level, they may say something to that linking. They may, or it could be that they feel you don't see the light of who they are. And, they're upset about that. But I don't get this as a negative thing. I think this is quite a positive conversation as a potential. They want to give you the clarity. We've got illumination coming through, and I feel they want to give you the clarity towards where life is going and how this is going to go. I feel deep down they know at a foundation level that you are the true love. I feel they also may have commitments that are making them feel that they have to do certain things, but they're having this revelation that it's not what their heart wants. It's not the way they want things to be. They have these, I wouldn't say desires, because it's really not coming through as I want to be intimate with you, and that's the basis of it. I feel it's so much deeper this week. It feels as though it's like two best friends hanging out together. Lovers and best friends all at once. This is how they see you. They see you as the whole package, and they also know that you unconditionally love them and want them to choose what is best for them. I feel that some of you are going to receive a message, and it's going to give, it's probably going to surprise you, because I feel the attitude's changed. I feel the tone has changed. This is either via a text message, a conversation, a message, an inbox. Could be an audio call. I feel you're going to be stumped. Let's go into clarifiers. Let's have a look. We'll move back. Okay. Whoa. There's a lot they've got to say. For some, it could be to do with the passing of an individual. For some, it is an ending of an old cycle and what that looks like. For some, it could be that you misunderstood their demeanor and they want to clarify. This could be some sense of an apology. Some of them are concerned in the midst of breakups that financial losses are going to be there. There's a shady individual around them for some of them. There's somebody they're not trusting. It's not stopping them, though. It's just something that's going down. It's something that's playing out around them. They feel regret that they haven't valued you and they've treated you poorly. There's a lot of regret there. So they're wanting to come in and change this. There is some sense of a breakthrough. However, they're kind of concerned that, you know, if they don't hurry, you may find another relationship. Their concern is you may get more from another person than what maybe they can give you. Some of them are concerned about an ex that you have. They're making reference to an ex, and this will be for those of you that know, how do I put it? They know your ex, okay? Because this is, and I do feel for most of you, this thing's dead and gone. This is packed, parceled, returned to sender, and they're still in that. They're having shadow work relating to this. They've been up in their feels about this for a while. This has been something that's really been weighing on their mind. I feel that they know spiritually it's time for a new chapter. I also feel that this has been coming through quite a bit. I do feel many of them are looking at the traditional element of relationships. For some, I do feel a divorce is coming through. There is a decision where they need to go their separate ways. They may not be communicating effectively with the karmic. For those that aren't in a karmic relationship, I feel they're healing over this and they're having a revelation of how very, very different it is. My guides are showing me that on this occasion, when you do deal with divine masculine, you will need to deal with it differently, because what I'm physically seeing is their full intent is to relate to you differently. You may not be ready, divine feminines, because I do see this person coming back in a very different vibe. I see them coming back with a very assertive vibration. And that doesn't have to be grumpy or anything to that demeanor. I'm not feeling that. I feel very confident. Like I'm, you know, you can kick me when I'm down, but I'm still coming. I'm still going to come. I'm still going to communicate with you. I'm going to honor my feelings and the things I need to say. They're coming with no ill intent. I feel they know that you have been hurt. I feel that they know that they could have done better in circumstances. They had poor judgment on occasions. Something is closing very quickly and they're rushing in. This is excitement. They're glad. They're glad. They're wanting to show you that their word means something. I do feel for some of you they can just randomly turn up. Oh, God. For some of you, if you have had a stalkerish energy with the karmic, I feel they're thinking back to that and they're not letting it hold them back anymore, because I do feel if this person was really causing dramas, I feel they're actually going to stand up for themselves, and I feel they're going to put their foot down. Yeah, they're going to put their foot down. They value this. They're coming through very protective of you, Divine Feminine. Yeah. Yes, there has been some insecurity, but I'm feeling this person this week is done or not ready. Don't be surprised if you have a conversation about the past. But listen, I'm hearing, let that person prove to you. You know, sometimes it's almost we've made a judgment before the person has even been able to prove themselves. And you generally do know. You know the person is coming with the best foot forward. You know, they're wanting to say something. They're wanting to express how they're feeling. That's a good portal. If you can get that down packed and you can have that moving, you're going to have success, but you're going to need to listen, because I do feel free to communicate how you feel, but ease into the circumstance, because I am seeing this person has a lot to express to you. And I feel if you watch, it's a little bit like a test. It's like, okay, let me see how they're going to relate to this circumstance. For some of you, as I mentioned, I do feel you've actually had a conversation. And this is where it's panning out, or it's set to come. A judgment is being made and they're rushing. And we've got the Chariot and we have the Judgment card. And on top of assurance, we definitely have consistency coming through. So there is this reassurance that they're wanting to be there with you. There's an assurance they're wanting to convince you that, okay, once we go, we go. It's all systems go. I do think they're dealing with some analytical situation, change a job, tying up loose ends, you know, gearing up ready for the unwind. But ultimately, they want their ducks in a row. I do feel whatever this is, even if this is a romantic connection they're in, I feel they're having clarity, and regardless, they're making a decision. So be it they're deciding to see this year out, I still feel the communication's coming in to give you the PDF of where they're going. If you do want to see these, please come through and join our membership. We have all of them open a week ahead of schedule. And yes, we do have the joint connection every Friday. Regardless of the silly season, yes, we will have these open and premiered. Take care, beautifuls, and I'll see you next week.